what we have here.
Hey guys, we're back, and we finally made some sales. We picked up some stuff, and so I wanted to do a little update here. This will be probably one of the last of the series. We might do one or two more before the new year, and then I want to start getting into PC flipping as far as the whole PC, not the parts. And I was going back and forth, and I asked a few people what should I keep doing, the parts flipping, or should I convert to the PC flip only? And I asked several people. Nobody really had a definitive answer of what I should do, but I think that the PC parts flipping right now, it's getting a little too complicated because there's so many parts. There's so little amount of money involved per part. The spreadsheet is huge. And so we're probably, I think, we're just going to end that. And then starting in the new year, we'll do PC builds. So a whole build from beginning to end where I buy the parts, put it together, and then I sell it, and then I post the video. And that's what people have said before. They said, how come you don't show the sale? It's just you buying stuff. There's no sale. Where's the sale? We want to see what happens at the end. And the reason why I don't do that is because I like the live aspect of it. I like buying it, posting the video that same day, and you kind of get my reaction to what I just got. If I buy it and then, I sell it 2 months later and then I make a video, for me, it's not as exciting as if I bought it and then posted the video same day. But I think it's run its course and people like builds. So we're going to try and do that. Anyway, so here's what's going on. We have, let's see what we sold. Check the notes here. So I didn't post a video about it, but I did make a post about it. So I picked up a GTX 1060 and a GTX 970 for $50. That was the deal when I went to go see the guy. And then he said, I have a whole bunch of other stuff if you want to see. So I said, sure. So he comes out of his house with a wagon. It was like, it reminded me of those carts, when they come out and you have to pick what you want to eat, like the dessert cart. Because he wanted me to buy everything. And I was in no position at the time. I literally had $100 in my pocket. So I tried to see how much I could get for that. So it was the 1060 and the 970 was $50. That deal was already there. And then he had a Dell Inspiron and a monitor. I think it was 7th gen. I forgot to write that down. It was something a little bit newer than what I'm used to. That and the monitor, he wanted 84. He had 3 laptops. He had 5 SSDs, random ones. He had more SSDs that were all Samsung Evos, like 980s. And then he had a bag of NVMe drives, and one of them was a 4 terabyte. And so, and a power supply. I think it was a 600 watt power, 5 or 600 watt power supply, all in this little wagon. I wish I would have had a video of it, but I don't really like to record people. It's kind of weird. So I said, it was a tough decision. I think that I should have probably just bought the tower and the monitor for $80 because that was a really good deal instead of just a bunch of random stuff. But I really wanted the 1060 because I haven't had a 1060 in so long and they're really hard to find now. So I said, okay, I'll give you $50 for the 2 GPUs. So that was done. And then I thought, I can really use SSDs, right? So I said, how many SSDs can you give me? And the 3 laptops for $100. So we negotiated back and forth, back and forth. I was trying to get him to throw in the power supply, and he just wouldn't do it. And I was thinking, you know, what does he want with the power supply anyway? He wanted $20 for the power supply. He wanted $50 for the 4 terabyte NVMe drive, which I don't even need one, but I just kind of wanted to see what he wanted for it. So I said, what can you do? So I said, and the thing is, we were kind of at a lock. We were at a standstill on the negotiation. And I don't know if you know this, but I negotiate a lot with people online, over the phone, in person. And you can recognize when there's time to make a shift. Otherwise, you'll be there all day. It's not to toot my own horn, but I do a lot of negotiation. I've negotiated lawsuits. I've negotiated $20,000 car sales. I mean, I know how to. The thing is, you don't want to negotiate too much because sometimes they'll just pull out and be like, yeah, you know what, never mind. So you gotta close the deal as fast as possible. So I was looking at all the SSDs and I was thinking, he really seemed to be attached to the Samsung ones, and then the rest were kind of random. So I said, okay, I want to buy the Samsungs, but I'll come back later for those because I don't have enough cash with me. Why don't you give me all of the other ones and the laptops? So $100 for everything. And he kind of was there he's like, Now we know that he has no use for these SSDs. To him, that's trash. He said he had more stuff inside his house. That's just what he brought out. But you know that he knows that the Samsung's worth money. So he said, okay, fine. Take all the SSDs, take the laptops. He said that only one laptop worked. One of them was a newer one, I think 8th gen. And then one was a 4th gen. I forgot what the other one was. And then he said one had a line in the screen. But yeah, that's a lot of stuff though. Think about it. It's kind of a weird deal, but so GTX 1060, GTX 970, I think it was 5 SSDs, all 128, plus 3 laptops where one is supposed to work, and all of that for $100. I think that was a good deal. It's kind of there's a little bit of risk involved there. What if the GPUs didn't work or something like that? But unfortunately, I did not get a video of that part. But the 970 worked. I already sold that for $50, so we're already clear on that. Then I sold one of the SSDs for $15, so we're at $65. I still have the 1060, which works. I still have all 3 laptops. They actually all work, but 2 of them have a administrator password, not in the Windows, but in the actual BIOS, so you can't go past that. But one of the 4th gen one does work fine. There's a little line in the screen, but it works. So that's good. And then the the SSDs that you just have those for spares. So that was a good deal. I mean, now I have 4 SSDs, 3 laptops, and a GTX 1060 for $35 after what I sold. So in the end, it's going to be a really good deal, but it's going to take a while to get through all of it. Now let's move forward to what I was posting about. What I picked up today is I looked online on OfferUp, and I look every morning. I don't want to buy any more stuff, really. I keep saying that. I really don't want to buy any more stuff. But every morning I look on OfferUp and I look on Facebook just in case there's something crazy out there, right? So I looked on OfferUp, and I saw this thing. It said Eggs Gaming GPU, EGGS, like an egg gaming GPU. But in the picture, you could see it was an EVGA, so I think he got auto-corrected on that. And I looked at the picture and I go, whoa, that's a classified 780 Ti, $50. And I already had all the other stuff, right? So I didn't want to buy more. So I tried to stall. And that's another tactic you can use when you're trying to buy stuff, is you can stall people saying you're interested, you'll come tomorrow. Then you say you'll come tomorrow again. And then, you know, it's kind of a, some people would say that's kind of a shady move, but it works. You know, if nobody else will buy it, you know, you can stall people for a week sometimes. And he said, okay, but he said it's probably going to be sold by then anyway. I think he knew what he had, even though he spelled it incorrectly. So I said, okay, well, I'll get back to you tomorrow. And then I was finishing up some work, and I wasn't too far from where he was. And I said, you know what? I better go get this, because if this is really a classified, I better get it. Because if he sells it and I don't get it, and then I'm going to be like, oh man, I missed on a classified. So I said, I'll give you $40 right now. He said, come over. So I come over, I give him the $40. It's in good condition. He said he has more stuff, and then we'll be in touch about that. But then as I was coming out of the parking lot of where I met him, I found this e-recycle place. And there was just this tower of stuff. So here, let me show you what I got, and then we'll go ahead and try it out. So stay tuned, and let me show you what we found.
So here's the thing that I saw on OfferUp. This was a 780 Ti. That was $50 asking. I got that for $40. That will be its own video, so we won't talk about that right now. But the funny thing is, in the parking lot where I met this guy, they had one of those e-recycle things, you know, where people donate stuff. And there was all kinds of stuff there. And so I asked the guy, I said, hey, are you allowed to sell any of this stuff? And he said, well, no, not really, but the boss isn't here right now, so if you want to buy anything, let me know. So I was digging through. I mean, there was just piles and piles and piles of stuff. And I found this in there. This looked a little bit interesting. Some sort of motherboard. It's an ASUS, right? Yeah. But, you know, I had to assume that none of this stuff actually works. But I noticed something here. If you look at the memory, focus, it has 8 GB sticks. So there's 4 of those. So even if this doesn't work at all, I have, what, 32 GB of DDR3, which is not the easiest to find. So that was that, and then it has the back plate somewhere. And then I saw a bunch of old towers, so they were all super old. There was a couple of gaming PCs in there, but all super, super old. But this one was on top of the pile. And then I saw this. You can see it says Core i5 9th gen. So I thought, wait, that's interesting. And actually this panel was not there. It was laying like this. It was just kind of laying on the ground like this. And so I said, hey, how much do you want for this? And he said $20. So I was thinking, okay, you got all of this for free. It can't be $20 for this. He said, I don't know. He said, and then he said, go talk to my son. So I went and talked to his son, and then he said, I said, I want to get like $5 per item. Is that okay? Because it's trash, basically. And $5 each, you know, if it doesn't work, it's no big deal. At least I get the memory out of it. So he said that's fine. And then, so I picked up this tower. So I said that. And then I picked up this, and I said that. And I said, I'll give you $10 for both. And he said, yeah, that's fine. So I gave him the $10, and then later I found the cover for it. So that's cool. And I figured, you know, it's very suspicious that the memory's missing, the hard drive's missing. And that usually means that it's bad because they pull all the good stuff out. But if that's a 9th gen processor, typically the processors don't die, so I can get that out, right? And I can put it in something else. And then, so I gave him the $10, and then I said, hey, can I grab one of these hard drives? So I just grabbed this. So at least I get a little something extra. I don't know if it works, but just something else to sweeten the pot. So yeah, $10 for that, all that stuff, and let's go back and see if it works. Okay, first up is the mystery motherboard. Let's see. Should be right here if it works. Okay, we have activity. Just thinking about it. We have a post. It's on. Check that out. i7 4770. 32 gigs of DDR3, and that's actually, wow, 3.4 gigahertz. That's pretty good, I think. Cool. All right, let's try the tower now. So here is the tower. I put in a random memory stick, DDR4. Let's plug in the power cable. Where did that go? And let's see what happens. I'm less confident about this one. Push that all the way. Okay, now. Just came on by itself. Nothing. Okay, it's in dim 1, right? So that's good. Now let's push the power. It's on. No video. No beeps. No, it just turned off. Right. The thing is with Dells is there's usually an error message somewhere. So it's on again. I don't hear anything. I don't hear any codes. Yeah, this one might be bad. Let me see. Let me try a different memory stick because I know these sometimes don't like aftermarket ones. Be right back. All right, so I tried a few things. I tried different memory sticks. I'd move them from one side to another. Some of the sticks that I put in there gave me a beep code or an error code of 2-7, which means faulty memory. if I put in this memory, there's no error code, but it just turns on and off. So it seems like that this motherboard is not good anymore. But like I said, it still has, I believe, it says 9th gen core, so I guess we can take the processor out and then do something. You know, we could put that other motherboard in here and make like a sleeper kind of build if it fits. But hey, it was basically free, so not too disappointed. I did also try not using the onboard video. I put in a dedicated graphics, the same thing. So I have seen some situations where the power supply was bad, but I don't have one of these power supplies, so I'm just gonna take it all out. But yeah, if you see a tower for sale, like at a yard sale or something like that, and you see that everything's been pulled, like the hard drive and memory, that is some indication that the computer is bad. I don't see any blown capacitors anywhere. It looks pretty clean inside. Not sure why it died. But someday, whenever I get another one of these power supplies, I'll try it again. Until then, we'll put it on the shelf, and then the hard drive that I showed you is probably fine. Those don't really die that much. But everything for 10 bucks, I think that's a good deal. What do you think? So here's the update on the sales. I did sell one of the SSDs from that $100 deal right away. $15 profit. I don't assign a cost to that because there's so many of them. We finally sold the HP G2 Black Tower. I took out the 645 that was in there, put in the GTX 950. I also took out the 2 terabyte drive that had the 100 games on it. So he received it with just the SSD and the 950. Sold that for $150, so that's a $55 profit. But also I get to keep the 645 and the 2 terabyte hard drive for myself. So there's potential for more profit there. And then finally, after 400 years, I sold the mini PC, which had a cost of $40 for the tower, $40 for the power supply, and $25 I assigned the cost of the GTX 970. So that's a $45 profit. That was not a good one. I built that for myself. It was just basically for content. So it's okay that there wasn't a big profit on this. But like I said, you know, you look at these numbers and you say, what are you even doing? I mean, this looks like you're not making any money. It's just doing it for doing it. But still, if you look at the percentages of these numbers, it's still higher than the people that build those $400 or $500 gaming PCs, and they make a much lower percentage than I do. Plus, I get a lot of free parts out of it. So in the end, it is a good deal. It is a lot of work, though. So that's not the best, but it is, you know, it's a learning experience. So we're going to get into the gaming builds soon. Sorry this video was so long. It was actually supposed to be 2 videos. I didn't make the first one, so that's why it was like one and then the other one. But I kind of wanted to not keep posting videos every, 4 or 5 days about the site. That's why I put 2 into 1, just to save you all on the annoyance of multiple videos all the time. So let's do one more round, I think, and see what we can get out there for Christmas for people. I have a feeling there's going to be some good deals to be had. So let me know what you think, and we'll see you on the next one.
I get up, I get down.